Hi, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. I put some makeup on. I have not worn makeup in weeks, and yeah, it's a little bit pasty, but hey, guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been 2 weeks since I have posted anything, and that is because I moved and I had so much going on. I had to pack. I had been in my last place for almost 3 years, so there was a lot of packing that I had to do. And just a lot of work. And so I'm finally in my new place. I moved here on Saturday, settled in, and I just, excuse me, I just finished unpacking some boxes last night. So I'm pretty much almost done. But yeah, I'm happy to be back talking to you guys. Hi, John. Hi, JDG. Um, yeah, it's exciting to be back with you guys. I feel like I have been in the Twilight Zone for the past couple of weeks, so it feels good to just be back here. I was looking raggedy. First, let me say I have not washed my hair. Excuse me, my throat is dry. I need some water. Hold on one second. Yeah, I have not washed my hair. Hey, Purple. Haven't washed my hair in a long time. I'm gonna just say that. And this braid out has actually lasted for weeks. I mean, it's pretty flat at this point, but yeah, I've had it for a long time. Purple, the new home tour is coming soon once I get all this stuff together, but I'm really excited about that. And I want you to shoot my new tour too as well. But I might just do like a little preliminary tour, like a preview tour, just showing like the apartment overall, just all the features and stuff. And then like do a formal tour once I have everything set up how I really want it. But I just wanted to come on and chat with you guys. I asked you guys to ask me some questions or to send me questions that you had. So I will jump into those. But I'll just say, just like a life update thing. Thank you, Purple. So life update, I moved. I was in Maryland. So like I wasn't too far from the DC border, but I decided to move to DC. I actually went to school in DC, went to Howard, but I haven't lived in DC proper for years. I've been up here 17 years. And so I've always wanted to live in the city because I love urban life. I love being able to walk everywhere. I love having things to do. And even though, you know, COVID is going on and everything, it's still nice to just be able to walk places. So I'm in a really great location. There's a lot happening here. And I'm in a high rise. I've lived in a high rise before, but on the 3rd floor. The new high rise that I'm in, I'm on the 10th floor. And it is definitely an experience being up here, being this high, and looking down. Sometimes I feel like I get a little bit of vertigo looking out the window, but it's really nice. I can't wait to share it with you guys. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And also, I don't know if I mentioned this in one of my last lives, but I did end up going back to work. I took a leave of absence for 2 months. So like mid-December, it was December 11th to February 8th. I was off work, not getting paid, but I'd saved up money just so I could enjoy myself a little bit, just relax, decompress. So I am back at work now, and that is what is helping me with my life nowadays. Hi, everybody that just joined. HBCUs, definitely. And thank you, Love Cam. Hi, Zinja Johnson. I need to wash my hair too, girl. COVID head, yes. Thank you to everybody who just joined. So let's jump into some questions. I feel like I'm rambling on and on, but I wanted to give you guys a little update about life stuff. So what I'm going to do is I will answer the questions that I got first, and then if you guys have any questions in the chat, I will answer those. But thank you guys. Thank you, Ebony. Grapeseed oil is really good, Zinja. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. All right, let's go to our questions that we got today. All right, so the first lot question that I got from Sterling Reese is from Sterling Reese. Any obvious ways to keep lint out of locs? I love my blankets and clothes fuzzy, and I'm about to start a new loc journey with larger locs. Also, what's a big no-no for you when looking for products that don't cause buildup? So these are great questions. I love fuzzy stuff too. If you guys have been following me for a while, you know that I love really furry things. My style is boho. So I have lots of fuzz and fur all over the place. And I think that first I'll say you like what you like. I would not change my style because of my hair. I'm just not going to do that. But there are some things that I have to keep in mind with having all this fuzzy stuff. So definitely when I'm in the house lounging around, I'm always wearing a scarf. I never lie on the couch with my hair out because I have, this isn't really like, well, this is one thing that kind of has like fuzz and stuff, but I have a fluffy pillow that I just threw in the washer. I threw the pillowcase in there and I like to lay my head on that, and I would never do that without a scarf. So that's one thing. Always just keep your hair covered. When you're doing any kind of housework, you're cleaning, doing laundry, dusting, anything like that, you always want to keep your hair covered as well because you'll be surprised how much dust actually will come up just from moving things around in your closet. I was doing laundry today and I had thrown like a bunch of stuff in the dryer, so I had a huge load, and as I was taking stuff out, there was like lint just flying around everywhere. So you always want to keep your hair covered as much as possible. And this includes, this includes when I go outside. I never, usually if I'm going for a walk or something, I'm always wearing a scarf. And especially now living in the city, that's going to be really important because there's construction happening in certain places. There are just more people shuffling around in general. So covering your hair is really important. The question about avoiding products that will cause buildup, I don't use anything white on my hair unless it is diluted. Like when it comes to conditioners, I have to dilute it. I don't know if you guys saw my Lion Locks video where I used their co-wash, and I was really afraid to use that because it's white, but it also, the consistency of it is really, really, really fluid. It's really watery, so I felt okay kind of using that. But generally speaking, nothing white. I don't use butters. I don't use creams. I don't feel like I need that. Like back in, I think this was like the first year of my lock journey, I used to use this. It was like a vegetable wax type of product. I can't remember what it was called, but it smelled really, really good. It smelled like vanilla. It was just it smelled so good. But I had to stop using it because I knew that over time with the consistency of it, it was going to lead to buildup because it was white, it was thick. And when I would rub it in my fingers, it would have like a grainy consistency. So anything like that, I definitely would steer clear from. When you're using shampoos and conditioners, I always suggest diluting them because that is going to help you, one, spread the product around more easily during your wash days, but also it's going to keep you from getting excess product in your hair. So yeah, those are my tips for that. And hi, everybody who just joined. I will get to your questions after I answer some that I got earlier. All right, let's see here. I'm trying to go in order. My throat is so dry. That's another thing. Like living up here, like on the 10th floor, I feel like the air is dry. My throat has been dry. My skin has felt dry. So I'm definitely going to have to do something about that because I can't be dry up here. All right. Next question I have is, how do you maintain your curly look all the time? It's pretty simple. I just, like I was saying earlier, I haven't touched my hair, but this is from a braid out. And if I tell y'all how long I've had this braid out, you cannot judge me. Don't judge me. But I think this is pretty sure this is from Valentine's Day, because after Valentine's Day is like when my, when all the move stuff really kicked up. So I just did not have time to wash my hair. I didn't have the time or energy or patience. So yeah, this is really old. But one of the things that really helps with maintaining your curls, maintaining a braid out, is starting on wet hair. So I did this right after I washed my locks. and then braided it and then leaving it in for a few days. And it's really kind of crazy that it still has some, like, a fair amount of crinkle to it. Like, it could definitely be more defined, but yeah, that's pretty much how I've maintained these crinkles. But on a like a regular basis, when I have more time, like, and now that I'm settled and everything, what I would do is maybe I would like braid my hair every other night or so, every other night or every 2 nighs. Um, and then just spray it down with water, braid it up, wear the braids like all day, for those days, and then take it out. And it'll usually, even with that short amount of time, it'll usually last a pretty good amount. So that's that. Um, Next question is, do you ever wear lock jewelry? So last summer was the first time that I really experimented with lock jewelry, because I'm just like a really simple person. I like similar styles. Like, I have a bunch of sweatshirts. I have a bunch of like all my club dresses. I was going through stuff and doing laundry, unpacking my closet, and all my going out dresses, which I ain't going nowhere, but all my going out dresses were like the same kind of silhouette, the same lines. I'm just very simple, and I tend to really stick with what I like. And so lock jewelry and like mixing it up with that has never really been my thing. But I did enjoy last summer adding the little clamps to my hair. I felt like it definitely added some flair. And with summer coming up, spring and summer coming up, I feel like I will do that some more. I bought some like clear white beads to wear, because I wanted to do, I don't know, let me see. Let me look it up real quick. There's a singer called Kalila. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing her name right. I think it's Kalela. It's Kalela, I want to say. And she has locks, and she does all kinds of, can you see that? Dang. She does all kinds of really funky looks with her locks. Um, there was a picture, dang, I wish you guys could see this. It's all like blown out. Let me try to, dang, all right. You can't see, but anyway, she has some little clear beads on the ends of her locks, and I kind of wanted to do something like that, and I just didn't do it. And now I got beads all over the place. But I do want to experiment with more styles with lock jewelry, because when I see it on other people, I think it's cute. But for me, I'm like, yeah, I'll just keep it simple. Excuse me. Okay. All right. Next question is, any advice for having a successful lock YouTube channel? This is a great question, and I really think that it all boils down to consistency. And if you're somebody that if you're interested in starting a channel and you've been doing a lot of research, you probably have heard that a million times, but that's truly what it boils down to. Consistency, constantly showing up, even if it seems like nobody is there, like nobody's listening. Turn my ringer off. So definitely showing up every day, even if you feel like you're playing to an empty room. Eventually that room people are gonna start to come into that room. You have to be willing to stick it out and go through those periods where it seems like nothing's happening. Before I pivoted to talking about locks, I was talking about a bunch of different things. I wanted to have like a girl talk kind of channel, and it wasn't really going well. I mean, I had people watching, but it was slow. It definitely was nowhere. Hi, Boo. My nephew joined. Hi, Boo. Hi, I miss you. Um, Lost my train of thought. Hi. But yeah, when I started off, it wasn't really going how I wanted it to go. And then once I started talking about locks, that's where it really took off. So the good thing about having a channel and you're talking about locks is that it's a really popular topic. People are looking for it. Thinking about YouTube is people are looking for useful stuff. They're looking for how-tos. They want to be entertained. Like, there's different lanes. So people want to be entertained. People want to find something useful. And you just have to kind of find that balance. So definitely within being useful, you want to bring who you are to the game, bring your personality. Definitely in some of my earlier videos, I was really goofy and silly, and I want to bring that element back into my channel a little bit more, doing little stupid skits and things like that. It does take it takes some thought, it takes some planning. You can't just, or not that you can't, but I would suggest like planning your videos, giving yourself time to edit them. Because what I had ended up doing, like when I got really stressed at work, I kind of started doing my videos just like same day, same night, sit there and film and then edit, upload it. And what happens with that is that you miss opportunities to really add some color, add some flair to the videos, think about funny things, edit them a little bit more. So yeah, just take your time, be yourself, be consistent, play to an empty room every night if you have to. And yeah, just don't stop believing in your ability to do something, your ability to find your audience, find your tribe. I can't promise you that if you do all those things, it's going to be amazing and your channel is going to take off. But if you don't do those things, it's pretty sure that nothing's going to happen. I'm pretty certain nothing will happen. So yeah, definitely keep going. Alrighty. So next question's from Karen Roshaw. What product do you use to keep your roots twisted longer, or is that still a struggle? Yeah, so the last time I washed my locks, I did not retwist. And I actually have not been retwisting pretty frequently now. I can't remember the last time I retwisted. It might have been January. Maybe it was January. It might have even been December. I mean, it probably wasn't December, but it's been January at least. I have not been retwisting because I'm trying to give my roots a break to make sure that I don't have any thinning. Because like I talked about a couple months, I did notice a little bit in the back. So I'm really not on the hunt anymore for something that'll keep the retwist. I still use aloe vera gel when I do retwist, and beyond that, that's it. I'm not going to challenge my hair to do something it just doesn't want to do. So that's how I feel about that. I've made peace with it. Okay. All right. Next question is, hold on. All right, another question is from Karen. Do you have a spiritual routine at all? Do you use affirmations? This is a good question. So I do have a spiritual routine for the most part. I like to use singing bowls a lot. I feel like they ground me, they help center me, they help me feel relaxed, because my work is very busy, very fast-paced and demanding. And then I'm just the type of person that is just always thinking of things. My mind is always going a mile a minute. And so the singing bowls, just like when I hit the bowl, it's like everything just stops. Like imagine all these like pieces of stuff floating around, all these thoughts, all these obligations, everything just happening in my life. It's all floating around, zooming like confetti in the air. And then when I hit the singing bowl, all of it just comes down and it stops, and I can just breathe and relax. And I feel like I can see better. I just feel better. Like I can see, I can think clearly. I can really just be where I am in the present moment. And I do deal with anxiety as well, which is really annoying because it's like I have been through stressful times in my life before, and I've gotten through them. I've gotten through every single situation. And it's like things will happen, and I get in these modes where I'm stressed, I'm freaking out, I'm wondering how things are going to get done. And it's like, we've already done this before. We've already done this work of perseverance, basically. So, and why do I have to keep reminding myself of that? But the sound bowls are a good aid, just to remind me to center myself, to be calm, and that everything is going to be good. And I do affirmations too. It was the other day. I can't remember what was going on, but the other day I did some affirmations, And it was really nice. It kind of like puts you in a trance pretty much. I don't know if you guys, if y'all know the singer Tiana Major 9. So she put out a few weeks ago, she put out an album of mantras. And it's really, really good. Just a bunch of simple mantras like, I can cope, I am, I can't remember what she was saying, but it was all very just positive to help you get through stressful moments, help you just feel grounded and feel centered. So yes, thank you for that question. Um, and her last question was, did you have in the past subconscious beliefs you had to work through to release, or are still working through? Example, comparing yourself to others, and what are your beliefs on toxic people? Things. This is a great question as well. And yes, I definitely have had, subconscious beliefs I've had to work through. I can say just from moving here into this building, that's like, it kind of triggered a subconscious belief because I have always, like I said earlier, I've always wanted to live in the city. DC has a ton of new high rises, like new luxury apartments. And I've always walked past them and wondered, like, oh my God, how can people afford to live there? It looks so beautiful. I wish, I can't wait till I can afford something like that. And over the last few years, I have worked really hard. Like, I got a new job, got a good raise. I paid off a ton of debt doing the Dave Ramsey snowball method. And then like YouTube has been going really well too. And so I have just been doing very well financially. And like towards the end of last year, I was just thinking about what I wanted to do. I knew my lease was up soon. And I was like, I want to live somewhere that I fantasized about. I want to live because I love architecture. I can't talk. I love architecture. I love design. And I just, I mean, I could window shop looking at apartments for days and homes and everything. I love that. And so moving here was just like, I kind of felt like, who am I? Who do I think I am to be living in this apartment? And I'll be real. It's like DC has seen a lot of gentrification over the past several years. And honestly, it was mostly white people that I saw living in these buildings. Um, and so for me, being a Black woman living here, it's like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be dramatic and be like, oh, I've made it, I've arrived or anything, but I had to tell myself I have worked hard to get this. This is what I've wanted. Um, and I'm not going to allow anybody to make me feel bad or make me feel like I shouldn't be here because I'm not a student. I don't have loans paying for this. I don't have a voucher paying for this. I'm paying for this with my own hard earned money. And it just, yeah, I just had to tell myself I have a right to be here. And, I have a right to live out my dreams. I want to live in the city. And people, you're entitled to reach your dreams. You're entitled to try and to work for what you want and, to help yourself get there. So yeah, that's like a subconscious belief that I've had to work through, like, oh, who do I think I am? Maybe I'm not good enough for this. Maybe, there are other people who, I don't know. I don't know. It's yeah. I'm I'm not worrying about that now. I'm in here. I don't care. No, first of all, nobody has said anything crazy to me at all. But I've just had moments because my last apartment it was vintage and it was very me, but kind of like in a different way. It was also very cheap because I've always been somebody who lived below my means because I never saw like, I just never wanted to pay that much for housing. So I lived My last place was a 1 bedroom apartment. It was vintage. It was very no frills at all. Like it had a lot of beautiful light and everything, and that's what I loved, but it wasn't fancy. And I lived in a studio apartment before that, and it was like right around the corner and the same type of thing. Um, so to really just upgrade my home and kind of just the amenities in my home and everything. Like this building has so much. It has an amazing rooftop, amazing courtyard, gym. It's just like all these modern amenities. And it's like, girl, who you think you are? But I'm me and I'm in here. So that's all. And there was another question to that too. Comparing yourself to other people and beliefs on toxic people. So yeah, I've dealt with comparing myself to other people a lot because I've always just felt like I was kind of like a different person, like an offbeat type of person. And I guess I used to feel like, why can't I just be like a normal person? Why can't I like what normal people like and do what normal people do? But I just never felt like that. I always just had different interests from the people that I knew growing up. So yeah, it took a lot of time for me to just really come to accept myself and realize that I'm enough as I am, that I like who I am. I'm working on myself. I have, plenty of room to grow, but this is me. Um, and then with toxic people, blocking people helps, muting people helps, unfollowing people helps. Life is way too short to be worried about somebody who has something to say about you, somebody who's in your business, people who just don't make you feel good, who don't bring good energy to your life. Um, I don't really like the phrase good vibes only because I feel like it's disingenuous because there are times where life feels difficult, life feels stressful. Um, but I do think when it comes to the people in your life and relationships in general, I like to have people that enhance my well-being, people who support my well-being. If there's somebody who always seems to like make underhanded or backhanded comments and everything, and people who aren't really happy for me, I don't have time. I don't have time. So thank you for that question, those questions. I think that is it let me just double check real quick. Happy Place asked, the lock brush, is it worth buying? Have you used it? I have not used it, but I would honestly say if you're looking to brush your locks, you could just get a regular like boar bristle brush. I would get one that's not too rough. You want something that's soft, kind of baby soft, and that it kind of goes back to the first question about getting lint out. Brushing your locks will help with that, but do it very gently. And I would not suggest it if you just started your journey. All right, guys, that's the questions that I had. So I will go through your comments. Hi, everybody that just joined or that's been here for a while that I haven't acknowledged. Zinja. What would you recommend for deep cleansing locks? I use peppermint soap, but it's drying. Well, the thing with the deep cleanse is that most of the time it is going to be drying because you're stripping your hair of everything that's in it. When I do deep cleanses, and it's time for me to do a deep cleanse, but when I do like a deep cleanse, what do I use? It's apple cider vinegar and baking soda, and that's very dry. But really, when it's doing all that, it's kind of doing what you want it to do. You want it to strip your hair, to bring the sorry, I'm about to burp. Excuse me, but to bring the moisture back, a hot oil treatment could work after that. But yeah, definitely. Like for me, I like sweet almond oil. I've been using that a lot on my locks, and it really does help. But yeah, deep cleanses by definition are going to be pretty drying. Hannah says, can you talk a bit about the work you do, at least generally? I'm sure privacy is important, but I remember you saying you studied English, and I did too, but I had a late start in thinking of careers. That's a good question, and totally understand where you're coming from with the late start about careers. So I do my job, I do a lot of writing. And also, to back up a little bit, I will say, yes, privacy is a huge thing for me because, as I mentioned before, I do have a stalker, and this person has been stalking me for over a decade, which is crazy. Like, you really haven't found anybody else in all this time. But anyway, um, yeah, so I don't like to talk specifically about what I do because I don't want anybody looking me up. Not y'all necessarily, but just anybody who's crazy. So, long story short, I write a lot in my job. I do a lot of I do project management. There's a big project happening right now where one of our offices is moving, and so I'm writing the brochure for that, like the welcome brochure that people will see when that new office opens. So writing, what else can I do? I do some graphic design. At my last job, I did a lot more of it, but it's something I've always enjoyed because I've always loved magazines. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm obsessed with magazines, and that was my dream, like to move to New York and work for a magazine and have like a Devil Wears Prada experience. And I guess in a way now I'm kind of getting that, even though I'm not working at a magazine, but I write and I work with designers to create things, and I live in the city now. So yeah, in a way, the dream did kind of come true. Um, but but yeah, I was an English major, and I'm really fortunate to be doing, what I went to school for every day, literally every day. I'm using techniques that I learned as an English major. So that's really great. One thing I would say is um, when it comes to like making money, you definitely want to diversify your skills a little bit. So I had always been a writer, like from pretty much my entire life. Ever since I could write, I wrote. Um, but then like learning skills like graphic design, learning a little bit of project management, that really helped me land jobs that paid well. So I would definitely suggest that. There are some jobs you can do where it's pure writing and it pays well, but those jobs tend to be really competitive and hard to come by. Um, so I would definitely say if you're an English major, if you're somebody who likes to write, add some more skills to that, and you could still find jobs where you write. Um, okay. And jobs that are interesting, because there are a lot of like technical writer jobs, and I'm not interested in that at all. And in DC, there are a ton of government contracts, and it's all technical stuff. And I don't want to offend anybody if you're a technical writer, but for me, that is just not, no, that's not the wave over here. Okay. All right. Yeah, white makes locs sticky. Ebony ham, I say that's pretty good. Having a braid out lasts that long. It looks great. Thank you, Ebony. Yeah, it is pretty good. It is. But I'm definitely ready to refresh my hair at this point. Excuse me. Regina Andrews says, hey, Nina, how's your life coaching journey going? So that's a great question. Thank you for asking that. So before I left my job for the 2-month leave of absence, I was thinking about what I wanted to do because I felt like I was getting really burned out because where I work is extremely fast paced, and I just don't know how they expect one person to do this work, y'all. I really don't. But um, I was thinking about other things that I wanted to pursue, and I always wanted to be a counselor or a therapist. Excuse me. I'm having like some kind of respiratory stuff. I don't have COVID, but I'm just like sniffling and then burping on top of that. So who knows? But yeah, I was thinking about what I wanted to do. And yeah, like kind of an old dream or like a second career idea that I always had was being a therapist or being a coach and talking to people and like sharing my stories with them. And so I was doing that for a while. I did a 30-day life coaching boot camp. And then I was talking to some women, and it was really great. First of all, I was amazed that I was even able to do it. And, people were booking appointments and everything, I learned that the one-on-one method for me is very draining. It is very exhausting. Like, I love sitting here and talking to you guys about my life and, sharing my perspective and experience and everything. But talking to one person and wanting to be of service to them and wanting to kind of help pull out what they want, for me, it was draining. It was great. It was fulfilling, but it was tiresome. And that was like right before, like I said, right before I went on leave. And I decided that I didn't want to be drained, because the whole purpose of me taking that time off from work was to relax, because I was feeling stressed. So I put that on the back burner for now. And I don't think that I'm not going to say I'll never do it, but it was also something that I saw myself doing when I got a little bit older, like in my 40s. And once I really felt like I had lived life and just had a certain kind of perspective on things. So thank you for asking that. That's not like completely done forever, but for now I'm pivoting away from that, focusing on other things that I enjoy. All right, let's see. Auntie's Boo joined. Hi. Courtney Johnson, your locks are beautiful. Definitely goes. Thank you. Love Cam. I just started my journey a little over a month ago, and I just used oil and water. My first retwist lasted a little over a week. Yeah, oil and water is what I suggest to everybody. It's what I use. You really don't need a lot of fancy products at all. Water and oil, it's like it really depends on the kind of oil that your hair likes, because I know a lot of people swear by coconut oil, but for me, my locks don't like it. So I use sweet almond oil and water, and it works perfectly. Hey, Karen. Ty the artist, my mom is killing me. I want to start my lock journey, but she's not hearing it. I'm assuming that, well, I don't want to assume, but you might be, school age. I definitely understand the frustration with that, but maybe if you show her like some pictures of some beautiful lock styles, because definitely a lot of people have misconceptions about locks. The idea that they're dirty, that they're unkempt, that they mean that you smoke weed. Just there's all kinds of misconceptions. So maybe just show her some pictures, and hopefully that will kind of sway her a little bit. But that's if you're like a teenager. If you're younger, but if you're grown, if you're grown, you don't have to sway anybody to like anything. You can do what you want, and people can stare, people can like it, dislike it, whatever, but it's your head. So, yeah. All right. Christina, treat yourself, girl. Enjoy the fruits of your labor. Thank you, girl. Thank you. Yes, I've had to tell myself that. Just enjoy it. Mary Bush, Miss Nina, you have it right, girl. As someone already said, enjoy the fruits of your labor. Absolutely. We have to believe that we're worthy of the things that we want. Love Cam says, my mom was the same way, but she thought I was going to freeform until I told her I was going to have traditional locks. LOL. Yeah, a lot of people have, I guess, more of the misconceptions come from freeform locks, which I think is sad, because I've seen amazing freeform locks. Just because they're freeform doesn't mean that they're messy, but people just have that image in their minds. Yeah. Zinja, you've got to save during a pandemic. It's just smart. Absolutely. You do have to save. Ebony Ham, live it up. Congratulations on the blessing. Thank you, Ebony. Hi, Caitlin. Zinja Johnson, Christianity and Buddhism has taught me that. That's when I was talking about like meditation. Hey, Dane. Thanks for joining. Blue Poacher speaks. Sorry, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at me reading. Hi. Hi, Carissa. Hi, Reiki. Um, Blue Poacher speaks. 2 months locked here and so excited to see a live person to ask questions to. Yes, congratulations on 2 months. Hi Tempest. Rocky, almost a month in since your last live. Yes, it's been so long since I've done content, and I'm so excited to be back talking to you guys. Because yeah, this is important to me. Blue Poacheress, how often do you retwist and wash your hair? Sorry if you asked already, no problem. So I retwist. I've kind of been retwisting. Maybe I'll say like once a month. Excuse me. That's like ideal for me, I guess. But I've started washing my hair besides this move phase that I've been in. Before that, I was washing my hair like almost once a week because I felt like my scalp really needed it, but I was not retwisting every time. So yeah, like let's say once a month for retwists. And washing hair once a week, maybe once every like 8 to 10 days, maybe. Thanks, Nathaniel. You're welcome, Karen. Blue Poacheress. Oh, everyone says not to scratch, but if you have dandruff, shouldn't you scratch? Ooh, I lost it. Shouldn't you scratch it out to avoid it getting in your locks? That's a good question. So you really shouldn't scratch because it irritates your scalp, and it just exacerbates the issue. Getting dandruff out of your locks is important, though. And one of the things that I do is very, very gently, extremely, extremely gently. You take a little soft brush and I'll put it like if I wash my hair and I see that there's some dandruff in it afterwards, you take the little brush and just extremely, extremely gently just kind of brush it out. Like you can use a little edge brush or something as long as it's soft and as long as your pressure is baby soft too. That will help. Hi, Natasha. You're welcome, Hannah. Nellie D, what conditioners do you use currently? So in my last wash, I used the Lion Locs co-wash. Yeah, that's what I use. And I use it as a co-wash, but I'm going to be using it as a conditioner instead. And I'll just do a clarifying or deep cleanse and then use that because I don't want to cause buildup. And even though the consistency of that product is pretty runny and watery, like I was saying, I want to be very conservative about that. So that's what I'm using. I just said it. The Lion Locs co-wash. I'm using that as conditioner. Noah, hi Nina, I love you. Thank you. Love you back. I've been looking at lock videos for 3 years now and still haven't had the courage to do it. I understand that. But honestly, the only way that you're going to know if you can really deal with this is if you start it. If you start it and start the journey. And it probably will be a little bit rough in the beginning, honestly. Because it's a pretty big change. A lot is happening with your hair and a lot of it you don't have control over. And, people have their opinions and everything. So I'm not going to say that, oh yeah, just start. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be easy. You're going to love every minute of it. You're not. But you don't grow and you don't reach your goals until you start. So I totally understand because I thought about it for years too. Somebody suggested that I get locks in 2012 and I was like, there's no way. There's absolutely no way. And then 2 years later, I was like, man, I should have started this, 2 years ago. But that's when I started, 2014. And I would strongly suggest it to anybody because it really is an amazing experience. And as I said, it's not without its ups and downs. It's not without its stresses, but it's worth it in the end. Noah says, I'm afraid of losing my confidence because I know my confidence lies in the hands of my swinging ponytail. When I take my faux locks out, my hair is really short. I understand that. I definitely understand that. But I would challenge you to believe that or consider the idea that your confidence is just you on the inside. Your confidence is what is inside of you that allows you to do other things in your life that are scary and challenging. And you can take that same attitude and that same courage you have in other areas of your life and apply that to your lock journey. Because I mean, if you've been stalking locks for 3 years, that says something. That says that you want to be on this side. So you want to have locks. You want to start the journey. And I think I personally feel like it's not fair to you. It's not fair to yourself and what you really want, to stalk something for 3 years and not pursue it. And hey, you might decide to start locks and maybe it's not for you. Maybe you just don't want to deal with the process. Or maybe you even want to get locks attached, get them installed instantly and just be done with it. But 3 years, I would say, is a long time to be thinking about it. And I'm not saying that with judgment. I'm saying that's a sign that you want to do this. So just listen to that and trust that you can deal with the ups and downs, just like you've dealt with things in any other area of your life. And then Noah asked, how did you deal with the days you weren't so confident in your appearance? Just reminding myself why I took this journey, reminding myself why my hair looks a hot mess at this point. It's because I wanted to start locks. Because, yeah, there was a time in the beginning where my hair was so frizzy and people were not saying things. And I knew they were not saying things to be polite. And that's kind of like, I don't know if that's worse than just saying what's wrong with your head. but yeah, you can just kind of, at least for me, I kind of sensed when people were not, people were like, what's going on? What's going on with that head? But yeah, just reminding myself why I wanted to start the journey, looking at people whose locks were, my goal length, and just reminding myself that I had to go through things day by day and that my feelings about my hair were kind of like a chart. I don't know. It's like Bitcoin where you see the ups and downs, you see highs and lows, and that's all part of the package. But definitely focusing on the goal helps. Sinja, working on my doctoral dissertation. I'll be 50 years young this month. Never too late to do you. Absolutely, and congratulations. Stephen Gatson, hey Nina, love your content. Great job. Thank you, Stephen. AKR, hey. F. Nelson, hi girl, lovely to see you. Did you move to your new place yet? Your locks looking great. Thank you. Yes, I'm in my new place right now. I'm excited to show you guys a tour once things get a little more in place. But yeah, thank you. Morgan Portis, I'm 5 weeks in and excited for my first retwist next week. Congratulations. Maceville Williams, blessings. Always a pleasure. Love your channel. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Oops, the chat comments moved. Blue Purchase, thank you so much for the answers. You're welcome. Jacqueline, I'm trying to grow a broken spot on my crown from before I got my locks. What can I do? Because nothing seems to be growing yet. I'm 2 months locked. That's a good question. I would look into, first of all, I might look into going to a dermatologist or a trichologist to see what any underlying issues could potentially be. I would also do some research on herbs that help with hair growth. Herbs and essential oils, because there are some things, I've been doing some research, and there are some herbs that will stimulate the scalp. It's not to say that they will just automatically regrow the hair back. There are a lot of factors that go into that, but do some research on that and maybe start with a trichologist or just like a natural hair person, stylist who cares about the health of your hair and not just the looks. I'm sorry you're dealing with that because I know that is stressful. Reason Mia, hi Nina, what method do you use to get your hair wavy? Just a braid out. Yeah, just braids. I do, I take 6 locks for each braid, and that's how I get this. Nelly D, I remember the lion, thanks. Tosh, I thank you for having a channel out. I just made my first year a week ago. Excuse me. And I love it. Thank you and congratulations on your anniversary. That's awesome. Love Cam. I have rough days, but I watch inspiring videos of others that have gone through this journey as well. And I have an accountability group of friends. We all locked our hair around the same time. That's amazing because I didn't have a group of people like that. It was just me on the journey and the YouTubers and Instagrammers that I was watching and following, and just like me keeping my own journal. And that's another thing I forgot to say too. I kept a journal for the first year of my lock journey, recording everything that was happening with my hair, all the changes, all the milestones, all the feelings that I had. And I strongly recommend doing that because it just helped me just see the big picture. It helped me put everything in perspective. And that was, it was basically the foundation for my YouTube channel. So yeah. Let's see. Love Cam. You also have to celebrate the little changes. I feel more motivated around my month anniversary, and today I noticed budding. Yes, exactly. And that's exactly what I was talking about. Just taking stock of those little moments that happen, those little milestones. That's exciting. That's part of a journey. AKA Aura. I did the opposite. I told my mom I was getting traditional, but then I started freeforming. My African parents are currently calling me extreme. Girl, yes, there are cultural implications around things. And sometimes people just, parents, family members, people in general, they just won't understand. But I honestly feel like if you're not paying for my life, then why do you get a say in what I'm doing? But, I know how parents are. I know how it is. Nelly D, you have nice locks. Really? Do you have a length goal? I do have a length goal. I want to be rib cage length. So like right here. Ooh, my back is tight. But like right here. That's the goal. And it's probably going to take me a couple more years, maybe 2.5 years or so to get there. But yeah, after that, I will trim my locks, which is very easy to do. I have locks that I've trimmed and they'll just seal back up. Let me take a little water break because goodness gracious. All right. Devon Bain, how do I fix breaking in my locks? If the breaking is occurring like down the shaft of the locks, you could use a crochet hook and just like crochet the lock back together. If it's on the ends, that could be, at least some of my ends broke because of color damage. Like this hair on the ends, like this is my oldest hair, hair from years ago, like before I started locks. So a lot of this hair has broken because I got color multiple times, even before my lock journey. But yeah, try a crochet hook. And another thing is you want to keep your retwist, or however you're maintaining your locks, try to keep it consistent, because when you don't really twist a whole lot and then you retwist, you tend to end up with like soft spots in your locks. Like I have some going down the shaft, like there are points that I can feel where it's like it's softer than the rest of the lock. So you just want to be careful with that, because that could become a weak spot eventually. Noah, thank you so much. I'm going to start next week. Awesome. Yes. Tiana, who has IG? I'm trying to see them locks. Talking to somebody else, I guess. Regina Andrews, thanks for sharing. Have you been enjoying your leave of absence? Were you still going to quit or extend? So my leave of absence is over. I went back to work on February 8th. I did enjoy it. I'm telling y'all, 2 months being off of work and not having to answer to anybody is amazing. I had to be very careful financially because I had saved money. So everything was fine, but I didn't want to like dip into my savings too much. So just being responsible with that was important. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It went by so fast. I didn't get to travel like I wanted to, because I wanted to go see my mom in the Virgin Islands. I didn't get to do that because we were in the dark days of COVID, as I was saying. So I wanted to be safe. So that's the only thing I regret. Like 8 weeks off of work and I couldn't go anywhere. Like, dang. But yeah, I'm back at work now, and yeah, that's life now. Mystical Harmonizer, hello Queen. Hi, how are you? Have you tried any of Daddy Butter products? No, but I did look it up. I looked the products up. And I'm still just I don't like to use butters on my locks. I have never done that. And the prospect of starting to use butters is just, it's not what I want to do. But I did look them up. The products look great. I like all the different varieties that they have. So thank you for suggesting that. Love Cam, I started a journal as well. Thank you for the inspiration. You're welcome. That's great. Hannah, when locks eventually grow out, what's the difference in getting comb coils versus two-strand twists? There's really no difference once they start to grow out. If you're palm rolling, then they're going to get this cylindrical shape. So it really doesn't matter ultimately. You will probably, if you start with two-strand twists, you will probably notice a slightly different pattern the longer your locks get. You might notice a difference at the end. But yeah, if you're palm rolling, it's all going to take the same form. That's a good question, though. It's really the reason you would start with one or the other depends on your hair texture. If your hair is a little bit finer, you would probably need the two-strand twist. Yeah, good question. China Mason, I have some smaller locks. I started by myself. Do you think smaller locks thin over time? I hear that often, but I retwist every 6 weeks and I don't style often. That's a good question too. I won't say that by definition they're gonna thin, because sister locks are very small, very thin, and I've seen people with heads full of them and they're super long. It really just depends on how you care for them and yeah, the maintenance. If you're not retwisting too much, I think that will be good. I don't think though, yeah, by definition that they're gonna be thin. I think if you're manipulating them a lot, and especially if you get like bleach put on them, oh yeah, they will thin. They will definitely break. So just be conservative in, like you already said, you don't style often, you twist every 6 weeks. So yeah, I think you'll be fine. Nelly D, sorry if I make you repeat. I probably missed the answer. Do you have link goals? Yes. It's ribcage link. So right here, about right there. And then hello, don't need no man. Stop telling me I do. Hi. I'm laughing because I'm just thinking about Kevin Samuels and all his stuff. But that's, yeah, we ain't gonna talk about him. But I like your name. All right, guys. I cannot believe this was an hour, 57 minutes. I said, okay, I'm gonna come on for 30 minutes and talk about stuff, but it ended up being an hour. Hope you guys enjoyed it though. Thank y'all for being here. I'm excited to be doing another video finally. Blue Potress, I have 89 locks. But thank you guys for joining. I hope you have a great night, and I will see you next time. Bye. Good night.